Welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto and NFTs every day. I'm your host with the most, WendyO. And yes, we're wearing a dinosaur mask. So before we talk about the impending doom of Bitcoin, because of course you cannot be a crypto YouTuber without a ridiculous title, I'll tell you guys a story about the mask. So my nephew, the sweetest little boy ever in the world, we got him this from the Dollar Tree, because I shop at the Dollar Tree, I shop at the thrift store, okay? Times are tough. But we got him one of these masks for his stocking, because he spent the night Christmas. So Dee thought it would be a good idea to go back to the Dollar Tree, because he's helping Lo with a school project, a diorama for fish and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be ridiculous. It's super cute, going to be super cute though. But he saw this, so he bought it. So I'm wearing it and it's funny. And the reason why this thing is so ridiculous is because it's like $1 and you put it on your face and you could talk. Bah, 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 bah. So my little nephew, he thinks it's the funniest thing ever. And he's like, he's into dinosaurs right now. T-Rexes, all that stuff. So he's just like, bah, 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 bah. So it's super, super funny and cute. But it feels like the texture of it, I can't say what it feels like. So y'all can think about it. But it feels very weird. Also too, yes, it is raining in California like crazy. My pool, there's probably a 50-50 chances that this thing might overflow. So I have a bunch of drains around my pool, which I'm very lucky. It's an older, I think it was built, what is this house built? I think in the 70s. But so I have drains around the house, but I think some of the drains go back and lead back into the pool. I don't know. But anyways, I was up on a damn chair today. I was pulling leaves out of the what are those things called? I don't know. I was pulling leaves out of there and dirt out of there. I got it all over myself. It was freaking greasy and disgusting, but I got to do it. And I think my rain boots I just bought from Target, they have a hole in them. We'll see though. But anyways, it's crazy. It's been crazy. But we're going to talk about the crypto news. Also, too, Killer Whales drops on the 8th, which is, what is today? In like 3 days. So you guys can watch it. You guys can watch me be an absolute nightmare, be a menace to society, to all the boys on there because they deserve it. But anyways, let's get straight into the news. What is going on? This is me in the thumbnail. So if you guys don't like this, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, we got to shout out the mask. But we're going to be talking about FTX and Grayscale and massive things. And of course, squidgrow and shrapnel and all the cool things. And I think we've got there's all kinds of things that's going on. Okay. But first, let's take a quick look at the crypto market cap. Things are half up, half down. Ethereum Classic, I will never, ever in my entire life understand why this thing is still alive. And again, it is part of Grayscale's trust, which makes sense. But at the same time, it's like, what's going on? So we do have that. And we're going to go ahead and take a look. Anything happening on Coin Market Cap? Anything? What's going on with Solana? Let's see. Tether. Oh my God, Tether depegged. It's 99 cents. The Tether fluctuates. Solana, Chainlink, all kinds of stuff. Everything is looking okay. Nothing too incredibly exciting. But now let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin, what is actually happening. Really, for the most part with Bitcoin is we're just going sideways, okay? We're just really kind of going sideways. I've got the VPVR on there. I don't want to look at BLX. I want to look at the real Bitcoin chart, okay? We did an update yesterday. MACD does look like she wants to kind of bear cross and head down, but it's not confirmed yet. Again, this is it's a VPVR. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. We're in like this crazy period where we've got a lot of resistance, especially up over here, but we do have a lot of support. So I feel like if Bitcoin does actually decide to dump, we're probably going to end up at around $30,000. I don't really see it going below to like 20,000, but who knows? So some people think that Bitcoin could potentially dump, but we're going to talk about this major sell signal as to why it could. And this does matter. It's kind of a little bit ridiculous over here. But as far as Bitcoin goes, taking a look at the daily, let's go ahead and reset our chart. I'm going to remove the VPVR because I want to. But this is what the chart looks like over here. Nothing really happening. Like we did get a nice swing wick high all the way up to 43.5, but we're still trading underneath 42.6, which is an important area of resistance now. We got a swing wick low all the way down to the EMA 50 at about $42,000. So it's nothing really too exciting. We are in a downtrend. So it would make sense for us to continue to head down to about 42,000 and then decide and hopefully head back up. The 4-hour chart also as well is looking like we're going to continue to head downward. So I don't think we're necessarily ready to pump yet. Why? Because we're just kind of not. That's what it's looking like to me. If you want to trade with me or dollar cost average with me or whatever it is you want to do, we are partnered with Coinbase. I'm going to drop that in the chat. And we're also partnered with Coincatch. Coincatch is giving out, I believe, up to $5,100 with different tasks. I know for sure 180. If you guys are interested in using the ref link, not your keys, not your coins, read the terms of service. And there's no KYC there. So why not? Why not? Pew Pew said, dumping on the minute chart. Well, that is the minute chart. Okay. So when we're talking about the minute chart, that's going to be a lot more volatile. The minute is generally more volatile. So let's go ahead and get straight into what's going on with Miss B and what we should be concerned about. Also, too, I've broken up. We're going to be doing the show a little bit differently. I'm going to have my topics. Me and Mixing, we had chat this morning. So we're going to have things a lot more organized. We're going to have different titles for our sections to group these things together. But this is the title story, okay? And this one is going to be pretty important. Even if you're dollar cost averaging in Bitcoin, these are still important topics you should still consider putting in your trading and investing journal, okay? So let's get into this. This is important because we could have a really gnarly dump. So taking a look. Where are we? So this is our intro. This is going to be our title story. Genesis seeks approval to sell $1.6 billion in Bitcoin Ethereum trust holdings. So let's go ahead and go through this and talk about what this means to Bitcoin. So Genesis went ahead and they asked the courts to approve a sale of over 1.6 billion in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and ETC, Ethereum Classic, held in Grayscale's trust products. Again, Genesis and Genesis Digital Currency Group and Grayscale, they are all kind of sister companies, okay? Genesis was the one that had the issues with the Gemini Earn, and they're in some financial trouble. And this kind of breaches out into those other companies, even though it doesn't, but it kind of does, okay? Grayscale is the one that has these trust products like the GBTC. Grayscale is the one reason why we got the Bitcoin spot ETF approved, because the courts couldn't come up with the reason, or the SEC couldn't come up with an actual reason why we couldn't have one. So Genesis, the bankrupt company, and Grayscale made up key parts of Digital Currency Group's crypto empire. DCG was hit by losses in 2022 as large funds and exchanges collapsed, which triggered a domino effect that caused Genesis to go bankrupt, which was all part of the crypto contagion, like all of those companies, okay? But a side note here that's very important to know. In January, FTX sold $1 billion worth of its GBTC holdings. At the time, Bitcoin fell from $39,000 to $49,000. Could we see another dip like this if the court approves Genesis' request? So let me tell you something. I am not a bankruptcy expert. I'm not an expert in any of this, but from my personal opinion, the court is going to approve the sale because if a company is in bankruptcy, there's certain requirements that they have to meet. Bankruptcy is an absolute scam. It's just the whole entire process of bankruptcy just really enriches the lawyers and people that did bad stuff in most cases. Like I never see like innocents do well in bankruptcy, okay? But that's neither here nor there. So the court probably will approve this sale. Now, what does this mean for Bitcoin? Well, first off, we need to know how much is going to be sold. We don't know exactly how much yet. Well, they did say over here, 1.6 billion. But I want to know how much in each particular asset will be sold. And then also how that is going to affect like the conversion from the trust to the spot ETF. And I think that will have a negative impact on the market. How negative it is going to be, because let's really think about it. We have a massive giant like BlackRock that's coming into play. And honestly, when we're thinking about companies like BlackRock, the only reason why they want to participate in the crypto ecosystem is because they care about the bottom line. They want part of that ecosystem. They want part of that money. Okay. They care about the money. And for them to wipe out companies like Grayscale or Genesis or Coinbase, I don't know, just whomever. I don't think they have any problem doing that because these are horrible people to begin with. They don't care about people any way, shape, or form. I don't know. And like, I'm going to put my tinfoil crown on because we haven't used her in a while. But what happens if it was BlackRock that was kind of tied to FTX? Because I think that FTX was in fact a psyop. I think it was planned. 100% planned. I think it was pre-planned. And I think these people knew exactly what they were doing. What happens if Grayscale or BlackRock had some privy information and kind of helped with that? Because if you look to see, if you kind of pay attention to some of the teeny tiny details with the FTX bankruptcy and the crypto contagion, big players were involved. A lot of money was sent to non-crypto supporting people, particular parties. So, what's going on here? Plus, we see all these negative regulations. And yes, we're going to talk about Elizabeth Warren a little bit later. So stay tuned for that. And also, make sure to smash a like both on TikTok and on YouTube because that helps support me and supports the algorithm. Now, with that being said, what will this do market-wise? Well, we can take a look and we can use some technical analysis to kind of see what's happening. I mean, on the weekly, Bitcoin does look weak. She really, really does. She doesn't look too terribly strong. We have been able to stay above the EMA 9, but realistically, we're kind of holding on by a thread. And then if we do, let's go ahead and remove all of our indicator, the lower indicators are our oscillators. But if we just go ahead and toss on volume to get an idea of what's happening, there's really not a lot of volume with Bitcoin. There's really, really, really not. So again, where do I think price is going to go? If we do get a lot of market FUD, I could see right now, I feel comfortable calling a breakdown to about $38,000 to $36,000. Those were the EMA 21 and 30 is. So if you feel confident about this, you can short the market and use my links. If not, that's fine too. But that's something I'd be a little bit cautious on. And now I also do want to take a look at ETH, what's going on with her, because ETH is going to be impacted as well. Okay. And the second video that we're going to drop today is going to be about pros and cons of Ethereum. Should you be holding Ethereum? Do you want to hold it long term? What is really at stake here? And it's going to be a really good video because we have two conflicting stories. We have a story that's very, very bullish for the future of Ethereum, but we also have another story regarding fundamentals that is actually very, very bearish for Ethereum. So we're going to put that out 3:30 p.m. PST. So make sure you set alerts for that. It's going to be a good one. But as far as Ethereum goes, let's go ahead and go to the daily. Curious. There's not a whole lot of volume here. And if we just kind of look at the daily, we're in a little bit of an uptrend. We've been able to stay above 22.75, which is nice. We're really above here, 22.42. But realistically, we don't really have a lot of momentum. And we're having trouble. We've had multiple retests of $2,300. Are we going to be able to flip it or not? Right now, it does not look likely. So I'll be a little bit cautious. I'm not going to chart Ethereum Classic because there's no point. There's no point at all. But anyways, again, this is Coincatch. $180 sign-up rewards, max deposit and trade. You could get up to $5,300. So if you're interested in that, take a look. If not, that's fine too. But use my link. It's down below. All right, now let's get into this aspect of our crypto news. Oh, not the right one. Not the right one. Not the right one. Here we go. So and this is going to be our crypto news segment because we did our altcoin news, crypto news, altcoin news, whatever. Okay. Well, actually altcoin news. Yeah. Altcoin news. What in the hee-haw is farcaster? What is it? What is it? Well, apparently it saw a 400% increase in daily active users amid Frame's frenzy. So we're going to go ahead and talk about this. And I'm going to show you, after we talk about it, I'm going to show you a tweet from a colleague of mine because they had a very interesting experience with farcaster. So farcaster is popping up all over Twitter, all over social media. People are like, let's join it. This is going to be great. This could be the next Web3 platform. And again, when we talk about SoFi, SoFi is going to be a very big player happening. We did New Bitcoin City. We tried Friend Tech. We're kind of moving away from those platforms right now. We did Coffee Club. Coffee Club to me is the only one I think that makes sense because it's like a kind of a token gated experience to get in a Telegram chat with me or with whomever. And in that aspect, I think it's important. But at the same time, it's got its pros and cons. But farcaster is a little bit different. Okay, so they see a 400% increase in daily active users amid Frame frenzy, and it's a decentralized network for social media apps. So it's a little bit different than the token gating experiences to get into somebody's chats. Okay, so in the past week, it was the daily active users increased 400% following the introduction of Frames on the social media app Warpcast. It was also founded by ex-Coinbase engineers, and Warpcast is built on the Farcast network. Frames is a new upgrade that allows users to mint NFTs, make transactions, claim tokens, read external blog posts, and answer surveys without having to sign a transaction or leave the app. And that aspect is pretty cool. Like, you want to be able to do everything in-house. And that's a big problem that we see, excuse me, with some social media apps is that you can't do everything in-house. Like, everybody wants to be able to do things in-house. Like Twitter is not there yet. They will be, but I also have some doubts about Twitter under the leadership of Elon Musk. Is it a lot more free? Yes, but at the same time, I don't know if they are going to be able to compete. Okay. Reason being is because Twitter's algorithm seems all over the place. And it's kind of very similar to what I'm seeing on TikTok. It's like there's all these changes. Nobody really knows what's happening. They keep trying new things that aren't working. And there's like this big, like the top creators, they're getting pushed the hardest. The lower creators, they're just like doing their thing. And the middle creators, that's like the biggest chunk of us. We're just kind of in the middle, not growing. I'm not growing on TikTok. I am not growing on Twitter. The only platforms I'm growing on is Instagram, weirdly enough, and YouTube. But the one platform I'm growing on the most is Instagram. But to be able to, let's just say, for example, you're able to use, like, utilize all the different features of these social media platforms on one app, that would be fantastic. And I think if it was done in categories, like if you picked your experience, like Twitter, for example, I think if you wanted like more of an Instagram experience there, and that you could add that in your settings, say, hey, I want more of an Instagram experience or more of like an Instagram TikTok experience, I think that would actually do well. Because I don't know how Twitter's algorithm is going to be able to differentiate really between like verbiage posts, like written posts, and media posts. Because sometimes those do really well and sometimes they don't. But it's just kind of like all over the place. And plus all of the settings for comments for video, YouTube has that absolutely locked down. It is phenomenal. TikTok, Instagram, no. But Twitter's going to have to do something. They're going to have to make a big change in order for that to make sense. That's just my personal opinion, okay? It's my personal opinion. Anyways, let's get back to this. Let's see if you guys should join Farcaster or not. Okay. Side note, Vitalik mentioned Farcaster in response to a post about Friendtech user analytics. So let's go ahead and take a look at this story really quickly. Take a look. And I'm not on Farcaster yet, okay? So Vitalik said this: bad GameFi is using financial speculation as a substitute for fun. Blockchain games need to be fun, as in games. Approximate quote I've said many times. I believe a similar thing for crypto social. Registering a prediction: Farcaster and Lens will not be deserted in 4 months or a year. That is an interesting take from Vitalik. However, Vitalik was good at building Ethereum. For social networks, I would take this with a grain of salt. That's just my opinion, though. So people seem to be, and this is from Hasib right here. And he said, people seem to widely believe that Friendtech's bounding curve was core to its flame out. What did people learn from it? How are they redesigning bonding curves based on this? Any recommendations, reading examples? Another thing that we saw with Friendtech is we saw creators with a lot of keys just kind of dump them, which was not good for the platform. So again, it was kind of a mix of cost, boundaries to entry. It was hard. Like, you had to go to base, you had to do a transaction, all kinds of stuff. It's like, who has time for that? Like, why? And this is the thing. And when I speak about this, I think about for regular people. Like, why would my sister create an account on Farcaster and have to go through base and have to do bridging and go from here and there when she doesn't even know how to use MetaMask, instead of just creating an IG account or a Twitter account, which is free? It's just you email and you sign up. Okay. So you're going to have to think about things like that. So whatever is the easiest to use will work. So Farcaster, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. I haven't tried it. I don't know if I really want to try it at this point. But, it's just another social media platform. And then here's a negative outlook on it from Not So Fast. And he's been in the industry for a very long time. He said, it is beyond stupid that Farcaster defaults to credit card payment for on-chain fees. If you think I'm doxing for this. Even tried signing up within the mobile and it still didn't let me make on-chain payment to cover on-chain fees. So somebody said this right here: create a new seed phrase, fund a wallet with $5 gas cost, sign up here, import seed phrases into Workcast app. So again, even this, I don't know, I haven't tested this out or not, but even this procedure here, that's still going to be a pain in the behind for a regular average person. And again, if he's talking about having issues with the credit card and having to use that to pay gas fees, that just seems a little bit absurd to me, because then you're back to the problem with Twitter or the verification problem where you're paying for verification. Who wants to do that? And then it does dox you in a sense too. So people that do value their privacy online, it's a problem. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with it, but I wanted to put it out there. I don't know if I'm joining or not yet. I will let you guys know. We'll get you all the official links if we can. So I think that's important. Now, next, look at this cutie little patootie over here. The little doggy. Okay. So this is not news and this is not new, but we're going to talk about it in our altcoin news. Aw, thank you so much. We got to give some love. We got a conspiracy, cute conspiracy crown and $1.99 super chat from Rusty Fuel. Appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. We've got almost 300 people, 101 likes. Let's smash the like and get it up. Okay. Now let's talk about this story with dogwifhat, because apparently people got greedy again. Remember, y'all, I did a video for you, a live stream Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning, talking about a lot of the greed in this industry. Everything is revolving around meme coins that are absolute garbage. So this is not news, but apparently insiders make millions after grabbing Ethereum version of dogwifhat. So dogwifhat initially started on Solana and then it went over to Ethereum. And the funny thing about this story is that Ethereum, like all the meme coins and all the activity would be on Ethereum, and then other chains would duplicate and take, create derivatives of project 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now we're seeing the inverse, and that's because Solana is a lot more affordable to use, which makes sense. So let's go ahead and talk about what happened. And also too, I support your right to get into meme coins. I don't care what you guys buy, invest in what it is you guys do. I don't care. I just want to simply say, you're going to just be really cautious. That's all. And understand with meme coins, there's probably a high chance that you might get wrecked. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the key points from this cuckoo article over here. So apparently, this new token is not connected to the original Solana-based dogwifhat token, WIF. The one on Ethereum is not. And that's another thing that you have to pay attention to is when people create derivatives, it could just be scams. It could be just a copy pasta of the code merged over to whatever chain it is. It's not really hard to make an Ethereum token or any of these tokens. They have like these, I think cost like $20 or something or $50. It's not hard. So that's why doing your due diligence makes sense. Okay. Ethereum WIF was issued by a ex-user at ISA, at ISSA. They claim to have first posted the original dog wearing a pink hat meme in 2019. Over 12 wallets bought 24 million Ethereum with tokens for $3,000. And the purchase was in the same block where the deployer opened trading, implying the trader knew when the tokens would be issued and traded. So that's a cool thing about blockchain technology is you have everything there. So you can see some of these things. The only thing that you cannot see the intent. Like you can see, you can put 2 and 2 together, but you necessarily can't improve the intent with things. So let's talk about what this means. So basically this creator is saying of this creator of this particular project, this copy pasta from Solana on Ethereum said, hey, we talked about in 2019, so we're going to make it on Ethereum. Okay. So basically they had this all set out and planned out, etc. I don't buy the story. I think that they had malicious intent. Doesn't matter. I really don't care. They can do what they want to do, but it sounds kind of weird, So I don't know. People are fighting. People are being greedy, and you're going to see a lot more horrible stories like this, unfortunately. Okay. Now let's talk about this. GME crash. GameStop tribute meme coin on Solana plunges 52%. Another meme coin, another dump. 50% is a lot. 52% is a lot as well. So just like meme on stock and same name, the GME tribute coin based on GameStop is falling hard after this week's spike, which makes sense. It is a meme coin. I'm going to repeat this with me. Most meme coins do not do well. They have their pump, and it's literally the same people that are making this stuff. Okay. It's like the same 14 devs. It's the same people. They're just making stuff. They're getting in, they're pulling liquidity out, and they're just making money, and they're rinsing and repeating. It's a little bit frustrating because there are some meme tokens that do have the opportunity to do well, like squidgrow, for example. And we'll talk about that in a little bit because they're doing another actually real thing. Like squidgrow kind of started off as like a meme utility token, but now it's more so a utility token. They've actually proved themselves, and the team has been working really hard behind the scenes. So we'll get in that a little bit, but let's cover this really, really quickly. But yeah, basically same thing. A new meme coin crashed and burned and dumped, and you're going to see a lot of stuff. You're going to see meme coins being created out of thin air. We're going to continue to see this happen, and they're going to make it, and it's going to be about a product or about a brand that did well, maybe that's really notable, and then they're going to grift off that, and then they're going to rug or dump it or whatever it is they decide to do. Okay. So this is the project over here. Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, so this is it. Will this project revive itself? I don't know. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days old. I don't know. Taking a look at the hour, it's just kind of flat right now. It pumped, and then it dumped. So I don't know. You could look at this and say maybe there's going to be some bullish continuation here, bullish consolidation. It's going to continue to ping pong, and then it'll pump again. But at the same time, I'd be cautious. I'd really, really be cautious. Now let's talk about squidgrow. Let's talk about things that are actively being built, things that are exciting, things that we are going to need and want to use. And again, we are partnered with them, and they're people that I work with. But anyways, this is a brand new announcement for squidgrow, and squidgrow has been going hard the last couple months. You have no idea what these guys are building behind the scene. So big shout out to the squidgrow community. Silentswap is part of the squidgrow family, and it's powered by Secret Network. It is a decentralized, a trustless, non-custodial cross-chain aggregator, and it basically means that you could swap anything across any chain and keep your privacy. Why is this important? Well, this is kind of important because in crypto, we're everything is public. It's on public ledgers. The Bitcoin Block Explorer, Etherscan, the Solana Explorer, you can see everything. Okay. And like with dogwifhat, with the Ethereum project we just discussed, basically, you're able to kind of get some evidence from the creation of that token and who is holding it and kind of the intention of that stuff. And again, I don't think that squidgrow did not create this to be deceitful in any way, shape, or form. It created for people that actually do care about their privacy. Like anytime you make a transaction, you should be kind of concealing your footsteps in a way. Obviously, you need to report, you need to pay your taxes. I never advocate for anyone not to do that. But at the same time, you deserve to be able to transact in a private manner. When you use cash, when you go to the Dollar Tree or the thrift store and you use cash, that's private transaction. So people should deserve some sort of privacy in some aspects. Like, for example, if I decide to go to the doctor and the doctor takes crypto, I should be able to use this particular platform and keep my transactions private if I wanted to, things like that. Because my health matters and my privacy matters. It's a HIPAA violation, man. So that's just an idea as to why somebody would want to keep their stuff private, okay? And I highly recommend, if you're interested in privacy, and you value that, you probably should be following squidgrow and you should be following silentswap. I think that this is a great utility and I think that it's going to be absolutely amazing. So I'm excited for it. And shout out to the squidgrow community for putting this out. Like, this is absolutely amazing. So anyways, let's get into the next story with Binance. So we talked about ronin yesterday. Ron. I want to say that this was built, like when we did the Bitcoin weekly close update, I want to say that this was one of the coins that had the highest gains out of the day. And they announced that they were going to be listed on Binance today at 1:25 a.m. PST, and apparently it dumped. So let's go ahead and take a look at RON. And that's crazy that a Binance listing would cause such a negative price action. Okay, I believe it was RON is number 73. Let's go ahead and type it on Coin Market Cap. So RON in number 73, and this is what the chart looks like. This is when it was announced, I believe, February 5th. Yeah, look at this. It jumped. Yikes. This is the daily. I guess this is, the chart dumped. Let's go ahead and take a look at take a look at it on TradingView, because it's a little bit more concise over there. We'll take a look at OKX. I'm not sure where it was listed long enough, but yeah, this is the candle. So basically it was announced that they were going to be listed on Binance, and it dumped about 24%, it looks like, in a day. Excuse me. Cold is almost gone. I've been using the humidifier. Okay, so we held on to the EMA9, which was nice, but look at this gnarly sell candle. So maybe, you know what? I don't think that this was necessarily a listing dump. This is what I think happened. Looking at the chart, what I'm seeing is that this thing started pumping, got bullish October 26th. Around that time, end of October, this thing pumped actually a lot. This thing actually pumped almost 700%. And I think, and it was balancing really, really nicely on our EMAs. We didn't really get a breakdown below the EMA 9 until December 19th. And then we got another breakdown over here, the 8th. Oopsie. Down over here, vertical, then down over here, and then down over here. So basically, it just looks like people took profit on this. It looks like the people that kind of got in these areas over here, these little consolidation periods, they just took profit. That's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong. Will this thing continue to dump? It does look like it. It does look like we may get moved all the way down to the EMA 30 like we've seen previously before over here, which is about $2.40. So if you're in RON, I would be cautious just because it looks like people are taking profit, and that's okay. Anyways, that's that. Let's take a look at our next story. All right, so BlackRock and Fidelity now hold 134,358 Bitcoin worth over 5.7 billion for their Bitcoin spot ETFs. Keep in mind, these are two completely different companies, but it's still worth noting that we're seeing these two companies accumulate a similar amount to what MicroStrategy has. I believe MicroStrategy has approximately 189,000. So again, I'm just throwing it out there to pay attention to. Now let's talk about Brian Armstrong here. Okay, this is gonna be an interesting story. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Actually, I forgot about this. Darn it. Hold on. Did I forget? Oh no. Yeah, I'll talk about this later. Apologies. I for some reason I got ahead of myself too much. I don't think it went over. Anyways, this is going to be a story from regarding Coinbase. So let's go ahead and talk about what in the hee-haw is happening here. So the Bank of England governor draws a specific distinction between what he describes as unbacked cryptocurrency and stablecoins. And then at a recent Bank of England press conference, Andrew Bailey, the governor of the bank, drew a specific distinction between what he describes as unbacked crypto and stablecoins, and Brian Armstrong responded. He says, I like Andrew. It makes sense what he has to say in that press conference, but the irony is that actually is the opposite. The pound, like the dollar, has no link or backing to any hard commodity. They can make as much of it as they want. Bitcoin is much closer to a hard commodity like gold with guaranteed scarcity. I agree with him there. I agree with Brian Armstrong very, very, very much. Why? Well, Bitcoin is it essentially is backed with scarcity. Scarcity is like what they're saying. But also too, when I think about Bitcoin, I think of it more than I think of its utility as more than just scarcity. Bitcoin allows people to essentially own their own money. And in addition to that, it really is backed by the people. Like the Bitcoin marketplace, when we talk about like P2P transactions and trading it, is really a true decentralized economy in many different aspects. And it's really backed by the people. Like the open market decides the value of Bitcoin. Like now we do have TradFi coming into play, but at the same time, it's still like an open marketplace for most people. I think the people decide what the value is, what the price is for the most part. And then Mr. Eric Voorhees responded. He's been a friend of the channel. He went on before, but he says pounds, stables, and Bitcoin are all unbacked. The difference has nothing to do with backing. Rather, the difference is that all three, only Bitcoin is scarce, permissionless, and market-based. Pounds and stables are not scarce, permissionless, and coercion-based. And he is 100% right. I agree with him there. Now let's talk about this story here. This is going to be from Miss Ellie, and this is going to be about Ripple. So we're going to give you all a Ripple update, okay? So the SEC has won its motion to compel Ripple to produce its 2022-2023 financial statements, post-compliant contracts governing institutional sales of XRP, and answer questions regarding the amount of XRP institutional sales proceeds it received. Remember, during the Ripple versus SEC case, the judge came out and said that XRP on the secondary market for retail is not a security. So if you buy it on Coinbase or trade it on Coinbase or Coincatch or whatever that may be. Now, with that being said, the institutional sales, some of those do constitute as a security. So that's what they're doing. That's what they're digging into. So that makes sense. So again, Ripple won the case essentially, but at the same time, there's a couple little caveats that they have to deal with, and that's what we're seeing transpire here. So is this a bad thing? Not necessarily, because the outcome was positive for everybody. Okay. Now I want to get into this a little bit. This is from Meta Man, but basically he went and posted this long post on Twitter talking about what happens to Gary Gensler if Trump becomes president. Okay. So let's kind of go through and talk about this a little bit. I do think if Trump does win, Gensler, there's a large possibility he may resign, or he's probably going to get fired. Again, President Biden was the one that put him into power, essentially. And after the November 2020 election, Jay Clayton, a Trump appointee, promptly resigned both as SEC chairman and as commissioner in order to give the incoming President Biden an opportunity to name his own SEC chairman, make room for traditional majority, 3-2 majority commissioners in favor of party of the holding presidency. And also, Gary Gensler's 5-year term as an SEC commissioner would naturally expire in 2026. So if he does become president, I think Gensler will resign, because Trump will definitely replace him, in my opinion. Okay. The new chair with the Republican majority could alter settlements and dismissals, and Hester Peirce, if chosen, might quickly change the course. The legal question: does the president need good cause to remove a SEC commissioner? And this was all kind of discussed with what Meta Lawman said. And you know what? I really, really hope that Hester Peirce would get chosen for Gary Gensler's job. The reason being is she seems the most understanding of what true compromise is. Compromise is, you're going to do this and I'm going to do this, and we're going to agree on these terms. I get my way, you get your way, we're going to agree on these terms. So it's a little bit of both. And Hester Peirce understands that. She understands that there does need to be some laws and regulations for protection of retail, for all of that jazz, okay? But she's also understanding what a complex industry crypto is, and that it's brand new, it's new technology. The people in power don't necessarily understand it. And we need to come up with a way to not only protect retail, but keep an open and fair marketplace an open and fair economy for people to participate in, because crypto is something different that we've never seen. And people in crypto want to build to, because they're number one are entrepreneurs, because they care about their families, because they care about their communities, because they want to create something that is going to change the world in a positive aspect. In most cases, yes, we got a lot of meme coins, dogwifhat on this chain and your mom's chain and all the different chains. But at the end of the day, I really think that these people do want to do good. I do. I really, really think they do. So with that being said, we'll see. We'll see if Hester Peirce takes over, and if she does take over, I think that we'll get we'll see more positive crypto regulation. And again, that's another reason why I'm voting forever as pro crypto. Our country is in absolute shambles right now, and we'll talk about that in our regular news segment. So we're breaking it up into like altcoin news, into crypto related news, market updates, and then like regular news that does impact like finance and the economy and that type of stuff, because it all directly relates to Bitcoin. It all leads back. Now, South Korea regulator plans to meet SEC Chair Gensler to discuss the Bitcoin ETF. And do you remember, I've told you many, many times, whatever we do in the United States of America, other countries gain interest with that, okay? So, Governor South Korea's FSS plans to meet with the SEC Chair Gensler to discuss the important subject of the Bitcoin spot ETF. So it looks like South Korea is going to get a Bitcoin spot ETF, and they're also going to be discussing other important subjects of digital assets. This, though, is bearish. And the reason why I'm bearish is because Gensler is not pro-crypto. I don't think he is going to have anything positive to say, or maybe South Korea's regulator wants to meet with him to see what a moron he is. I don't know. But hopefully he doesn't brainwash them over there to come up with negative regulations, because I feel like South Korea is a little bit more liberal when it comes to crypto regulations. Now, let's talk about what's happening with FTX. This is a big old long thread. This came out on February 3rd. We touched on it a little bit. Okay. Bankruptcy, and more bankruptcy. So the reason why FTT, we saw it continue to go up and pump recently is because people thought that we were going to get another FTX exchange. I also thought they were going to revamp it too. It was going to be completely regulated. It was going to be hell on earth. But it looks like they're not going to be restarting it. They're actually going to go for a liquidation that should fully repay customers. That is not going to happen. That will not happen in any way, shape, or form. People are going to get massive haircuts because of the way bankruptcy law is. But this is actually better that they're liquidating and they're giving people money back and they're just washing their hands of it. It really is better, because the bankruptcy proceedings, they enrich the lawyers and retail gets absolutely slammed. People get absolutely slammed. So I'm glad that they're doing this. Yes, it's been going a long time. Yes, lawyers made a lot of money. Yes, creditors and customers and everybody got hurt. But at the same time, at least they are going to just shut it down and pay people, because restarting anything would just be a mess at this point. Also, too, I think there's a lot of insane, crazy things that they would find if they went through that. Maybe what happens is the public servants know that, and they're like, no, we don't want you to restart it. We don't want to get found out. That's just my personal opinion. But anyways, so FTX has been negotiating with potential bidders. None were willing to put in enough money to reboot it. FTX recovered over $7 billion in assets to repay customers, which is good. But again, that's not going to be accurate. We'll know closer to when the customers actually get paid out. They did reach agreements with regulators who have agreed to wait until customers are fully repaid before attempting to collect $9 billion in claims, which is nice. FTX is going to calculate repayments based on crypto prices from November of 2022. Legal and other experts charged on average $1,800 per hour, $2,375 per hour for top law firm partners, and have earned up to 1.5 million fees per day, and have earned a total fees close to 250 million, 225 reportedly through November of 2023. This will continue to increase. Okay, so let's just hope they get this done as fast as possible and people are able to get their funds back. And now we're going to get into the finance, money, economy related news, because this impacts what's happening with Bitcoin. But before we do, I want to check the chat. I want to see what's going on with all of you awesome people. I want to say hi. We've got 300 people watching live right now. Only 158 likes. Let's get it up to 269. That would be awesome. Shout out to Gamer and Pew Pew and Queen and Mike and Scott and William and all of the awesome, and Crypto Colin, the squidgrow community, all the awesome people here. Gamer said, JLP APY 160.24. So I am just holding that one for the passive income gains. Let's go ahead and talk about this here. Shout out to Steffens. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure to subscribe and set alerts. And shout out to my TikTokies over there. I see you guys. Somebody said I see a lot of influencers talk about virtual X and OX number or 0x number. Any thoughts? But 0x is generally for Ethereum transactions. So I'm not exactly sure. I'm reading. Anything important that you guys wrote here? Just some goofy stuff. Bless you. Also to you guys, is there, with TikTok, is there a way that I can stream so I can show you guys my screen on YouTube and on the phone? Because I checked and there's not. So I'm sure there's a program I can use, and I'll go ahead and research that. Anyways, we've got crazy rain over here still, you guys. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. But again, you guys, I appreciate you guys are learning from me. I do my best, but at the same time, I'm a shock jock. I'm an entertainer. I'm just giving you guys my opinion. And the purpose of this channel is to talk to you about my crypto journey, give my thoughts and opinions on things, but really force you to make your own decisions. Hear what I say, but listen to yourself, because you're smart enough to. You totally can. You're intelligent. Now, let's get into the regular finance news, okay? Cancel. All kinds of stuff happening. Excuse me. So JPMorgan Chase customers' deposits go missing. Bank says it has no idea where the money went. Well, what does that mean? Well, that basically means that our banking industry, that many people have argued is very safe and secure, lost people's money. You'll be made whole. But at the same time, this is ridiculous and you should be mad. And this is why we talk about the difference between crypto and the difference of cash. With cash, you can't track things. With crypto, you can because it's on a blockchain. Even if you're using something like a privacy swap from Squidgrow. Okay. But anyways, let's go ahead and cover this because it's important. You guys need to know this information. So apparently customers at a JPMorgan branch say their deposits aren't showing up, and the bank has been reluctant to address it, which makes sense. They don't want to admit they're wrong. The article cites a small business owner depositing $13,000 at the bank and the money not appearing in her account. Chase has not gone back to her. Employees at Chase reportedly told the business owners that they didn't know when or if she really received her money. This how ghetto is this? Like, you have to keep your receipts. You literally need to keep your receipts for all of this stuff with banking, even in 2024, because they lost $13,000. After being contacted by Oklahoma News 4, Chase reportedly appeared to be more than motivated to help out. Yeah, of course. Chase wouldn't have cared, and this would not have gotten resolved unless the local news stepped in. Now, Bitcoin news. This is from 60 Minutes. Powell admits in the long run, the U.S. is on an unstable fiscal path. The debt is growing faster than the economy. I have a sense that worries you very much. Powell, over the long run? Of course it does. Powell's the guy that's in charge of your money from the Federal Reserve. So let's go ahead and listen to this 60-second clip here, because I think it's a little bit alarming and we should be a little bit curious what's going on here.
Hangover after the pandemic is a sharp increase in the national debt. 30 years from now, it is projected to be $144 trillion, or $1 million per household.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to have to pause this and talk because I'm going to get so mad. I live in California. I'm a homeowner. I'm very blessed to be a homeowner. I do not have $1 million in debt. I'm not in $1 million of debt with my house. Yes, I have a pretty high mortgage, but at the same time, it's California. Like, everybody does. You are not going to get, like in Los Angeles County where I live, you will not get a house under $700,000. You might get a condo or a townhome. Townhomes maybe $650,000, condo $600,000. You're not going to find it under $600,000, okay? And most people can't afford to put 20% down. So please keep that in mind. But the fact that they're saying that a household is going to have one household in the next 30 years is going to have $1 million of debt, or breaking it down into that aspect because of the federal debt that we have. That's absurd. I don't want to pay for your guys' mess, okay? I don't want to pay the billions of dollars you're sending here and here. I think that those billions of dollars should go to help a particular situation, and whatever you got left over needs to go to the people, needs to go to actual people that are struggling. Not me, I'm okay, but to the people that are struggling, American citizens, okay? And I don't care if you just came over and you just got your green card, you just got your papers. If you're struggling, you deserve to get some sort of support because you're paying taxes. Something like, it's just absurd. But I digress. Let's go back into it. And again, that's when we're talking about Brian Armstrong and we're talking about Brian Armstrong, Eric Voorhees talking about like the Bank of England and how the pound's not back and fiat's back. It's not backed because you couldn't do this with Bitcoin. You couldn't. You could borrow it. You could take out collateralized loans. But at the end of the day, you really have to pay it back because it's a finite asset. But I digress. Let's get back into it, honeys and bunnies.
How do you assess the national debt?
I'm sorry, the national debt and the federal debt is all the same crap. And this is the guy that's in charge of your money.
Try very hard not to comment on fiscal policy and
you try hard not to comment on fiscal policy, but essentially that's what you do for work.
Instruct Congress on how to do their.
We don't want to instruct Congress how to do their job, but we're also making determinations of what's happening with interest rates and with money.
Job when actually they have oversight
Congress has oversight, but we're still telling them what to do with their money
over us.
But is the national debt a danger to the economy in your view?
In the long run.
So basically he's saying the choices that they're making now, we don't care, but we're just doing it. We're just getting it done. I'm old. I'm going to retire anyways. But in the long run, it's going to cause some serious consequences. So instead of putting Americans at risk and their children at risk, why are we doing this at all? Why aren't we coming up with something compromising on short-term and long-term and coming up with a plan that makes sense?
The U.S. is on an unsustainable fiscal path. The U.S. federal government's on an
The U.S. federal government is on an unstable fiscal path. But you're the one that is making decisions about interest rates and money.
Sustainable fiscal path. And that just means that the debt is growing fast.
Debt is growing faster than the economy. So stop spending. Don't take a salary.
Faster than the.
You know what they should do to fix the debt? They should take all of the proceeds that the public servants are making from their insider trading and put it back into the economy. That's what they should do.
Economy.
I have the sense this worries you very much.
Over the long run, of course it does.
Yeah, I'm done listening to this clown. So yeah, basically, we are effed. They don't care. They know what they're doing is wrong, but they're doing it anyways. Because he ain't going to be around in 30 years. You will. I will. Our kids will. They're going to suffer. Buy Bitcoin and opt out with Bitcoin. Next story over here. Let's get into it, babies. Smash a like. So this is Miss Warren. I'm not going to listen to her talk because she's annoying. But she said this. From Doritos to Oreos to toilet paper, giant corporations are shrinking. How much they give but charging the same price more and more. We're not fooled. Corporations are boosting their profits with these tricks. It's time to crack down on shrinkflation and corporate greed. So Doritos and Oreos are not food, first off. First and foremost, the fact that she's using Doritos and Oreos as food is absolutely disgusting because that means she is okay with Americans getting poisoned. Those are snack foods. Those are like Friday, you're on your way home from work, your kid did really great on their spelling test. You know, we're going to go to the 7-Eleven, we're going to go to the local liquor store, we're going to go get a little snack, and then we're going to go home and celebrate. Like, that's okay. Or like, you know, let's say you went to... Yeah, you got a coupon for your Oreos or Doritos, and you're like, you know, we're going to celebrate this. Like, once in a while, those things are okay. And again, don't care what y'all eat. Whatever. I love Doritos. I eat like a fat slob. And that's not the point. This rhetoric being pitched to the American people is absolutely atrocious because these are not real foods. The fact that she used this example instead of staples like milk or pasta or beans or rice or beef or ham or whatever is problematic. Also, too, do corporations have a role in this? Yes, very large corporations do have a problem, but I am a capitalist through and through. Corporate capitalism is a completely different burden because it's all bribes and whatnot, but she's part of the problem. And it's not really the corporations at this point, it is inflation. And remember, inflation is transitory, but the cost of goods and services is not. Once we have inflation, everything increases in price, and that doesn't go down, but inflation can. So it's not necessarily the corporations at fault. And you guys shouldn't be eating this crap anyways. Cuckoo lady, she is. Cuckoo lady. Ugh. Now let's go ahead and talk about Unusual. So apparently Nancy Pelosi's portfolio once again has hit a new all-time high, and she's up 83.45%. This year alone, her positions made her over $3 million in gains. And this is what I'm talking about. Take the money from the inside trades and put it back to help with the federal deficit, with the national deficit. Do it. Because if this was an average person that was doing it, they would get in trouble. Am I saying what she's doing is right? Or what people should be able to do this? No, but she's allowed to. Oreos are technically not food. They taste good, but not food in any way. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. VPN, cough. Yeah, we do a lot of coughing over here. $1 million in the average price for a home is in California. Yeah, it's expensive. Oh, for the Bay Area too. Yeah. No, it is expensive. Queen has said that she's becoming unhinged, and I agree with her. She is Pocahontas. It was so cute. So I was in the thrift store yesterday because I go to the thrift store. And let me show you all these pants I got for $15. That's a little bit pricey, but I had a 20% coupon. And the reason why they're $15 is because they're Spanx. And Spanx normally they go at they start at like $100. $15, my exact size too. But look they're the same ones that I have, but these ones are like snake skin print. So I'm very excited. I saved like a lot of money. But I shop at the thrift store always, and I got some other cute stuff too, and I'll show you guys. But this is probably the best gift ever. I think I'm going to read the rest of the news with this silly mask on, because it's all a joke at this point. Ugh. All right. To my little nephew. All right, let's finish reading the news with the mask on. Okay, next story. This is from Congressman Brian Donalds. I don't know if I could talk about this here, but basically, this is talking about the border crisis that we're seeing. And, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to be serious with you. My family were immigrants. I came here on both sides. Father's side, they were immigrants. They came here to escape insanity that was happening in their countries. A lot of bad stuff. The fact that I'm here today, I'm considering they harmed many, many of my people is amazing. On my mother's side, Sicilian, Italian. They actually helped build America. So let's talk about immigration for a bit, okay? I think immigration is a beautiful thing. I think it is absolutely fantastic. I think it is a beautiful thing that people come here because they want to create a better life for their families, and they're willing to work hard to do it. My family did, and I wouldn't be here without that. I'm so thankful for immigrants. So thankful. My problem is, though, when my family came over, my great-grandpa Sebastian, he was Sicilian. He came with his wife and his 2 kids. He brought his family. The people that we're seeing come over, I'm not seeing a whole lot of families. I'm seeing young men. Maybe they're going to work and send their families over here later. I don't know. That's their business. But we're supposed to essentially provide for our women and children. And I understand, it's a different type of economy, whatever. But that's like the whole new point of the nuclear family is like the man goes out to work and the woman stays at home and cooks and cleans and takes care of the kids, which is fantastic, or vice versa. Don't care. Like if you're a man and stay-at-home parent, I give you mad props. Like a stay-at-home parent, I absolutely love it. Don't care. But my problem is we have all these people coming over. They're getting all of this money. Like I heard that they're getting like $1,000 for 30 days, which is insane to me because I don't even think food stamps gives you $1,000 for a family of 4. I think it's like $200. I don't even think it's that. I don't even know. But that's crazy to me. And then what that's doing is this is a drain on the economy because then if you're shelling money out for these people that are not necessarily being productive, then it becomes problematic. And then when we have veterans that are not getting proper care, and we have Americans that came here, and we have people that came and they got their paperwork in order, or they're trying to become legit, and they're having trouble, that's not fair to them. And it's not a race thing either. It's more so of I don't care who you are, where you come from. If you come here with good intent, I love it. I'm here for it. But the problem that we're seeing now, it's gotten way too out of hand. Way too out of hand. Like borders, other places, they don't do what America does. And one of the reasons why the housing market is so crazy like it is not because of BlackRock or Blackstone or your mom or whatever. It is because people from other countries come and buy and then they go back to their country. And that's not okay because this is supposed to be for Americans, whether you're first generation or you're in the process of getting all your documents together. And for hardworking people, that's what houses and condos and townhomes and lands are for. That's what America's for. So that's all I'm going to say about that. That's my opinion on it. It's not a it's not a whatever thing, okay? But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the next story. So let's talk about Nayib Bukele, because he pretty much won a landslide to become president of El Salvador again. I am very, very happy. And some people are going to get mad about this. Some people might get a little bit upset. We've got 300 people in here. Finally. Let's get up to 300 likes. I appreciate it. Giving me Beetlejuice vibes. They're comfy. They're so nice and cozy. Hold on, I'm reading these. Whatever. Blackfooter up north. Yeah, Lo is I think if you guys are talking about Native Americans, Lo, she is, from what I know, from what I've been able to deduce from word of mouth from their family, they're Aztec, Sioux, and Cherokee. Cherokee, I'm like most positive that's the largest majority that they are. So I would like to get her card. I know D, he's got his card because he's Cherokee. So I think the next event, I think there's going to be in Pasadena. So we'll take her to go get her thing, because I just want her to know about her culture and her people and all kinds of stuff. It's important for me, even though I'm not Mexican, I'm not Native American, I'm Italian, Sicilian, and like Eastern European on my father's side. It's important for my daughter to know where her people come from. Like, I love it. It makes me super, super happy. But yeah, so I think that's what we were talking about. I don't know. But anyways, I want to talk about President Bukele, as he kind of won with a landslide. So gangsters in El Salvador are terrified of strongman Nayib Bukele. So basically, his re-election, he's bypassing term limits, credited with reducing gang-related crime. He is re-elected this week with an 87% of the vote. His tactics include widespread arrests, leading to economic improvements. Other Latin American countries adopt similar measures, reflecting a trend away from democracy. Criticism includes mass imprisonment, erosion of civil liberties, and move towards authoritarianism. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, because I have a hot take there. Calls for leaders to address crime without compromising civil liberties, warning against powerful leaders accumulating authority under the pretext of the nation. Okay, so my concern, what's happening, I know why he's doing it, and I know why he's just like laying the hammer down, because things have gotten so out of control in his country. He's like, you know what, we're done with women and children and innocents getting harmed. And the thing that the only criticism I have about this is for the young kids who get caught up in that gang mentality, and they just do things because they're trying to survive and feed their family, and they get caught up in it. My heart breaks for them, because I don't think that they're really understanding what they're doing. And I'm not condoning I'm not condoning their bad behavior. That group, I'm concerned about. But at the same time, it's like, as a leader, like, when is enough? Like, how much longer are you going to let innocent people get harmed and suffer and hurt? That's just my opinion. It's like, we can't keep allowing that. It's not fair. Because what a lot of people don't understand is when you're a victim of any type of violence, whether it be you're held up at gunpoint, or it's DV, or somebody assaulted you, whether you're man, woman, child, whatever, it's all horrible. Okay. Obviously with kids, I'm like, but the after effects of trauma that happens to you is with you the rest of your life. I was held up at gunpoint when I worked in healthcare. And there's still certain things that trigger me, like out of nowhere, that it's like, oh my God. And then I get really freaked out. And then like when I get back to work, like safety, I'm like, okay, let's think about what happened. So it impacts you the rest of your life. So this is why committing these types of nasty crimes are not okay, and you need to put a stop to it. Also too, this is going to be, and Bukele is pro-Bitcoin as well. So I don't know, maybe the United States of America can take a little bit of lead. But this is a video of him. Awesome. So I don't know, that's just my opinion. And I've actually talked to people from El Salvador that have family there, and they love him. They're happy with him. But anyways, I want to address this story. This is going to be a very important story. This man takes a stand today to prove he is the creator of Bitcoin. If you do not know who Craig Wright is, if you do not know what BSV is, you need to listen. Okay, let's get into it. So today in the High Court of UK, Craig Wright will present his case to prove his claims creating Bitcoin. Since 2016, he has claimed to be Satoshi. He has been able to provide sufficient evidence to support his claims across multiple court cases. Today's hearing, the Crypto Open Patients Alliance, COPA, initiates a trial today. COPA's objective is to diminish the impact of patents and legal disputes on the crypto industry. January 24th, Craig Wright offered COPA a settlement. They declined. So Peter McCormick really kind of set this thing off, and same with Holdenot. And basically Craig Wright has been was one of the early Bitcoin miners, has been in the game since the very, very beginning. And he's claiming to be Satoshi. And there's this whole Kleinman case. This is long, big drama. Okay. So if you want to learn more about this, go follow Peter McCormick on Twitter and listen to his podcasts and stuff. Okay. But this is the very early days of Bitcoin. So Craig Wright's been fighting in court that, hey, I'm Satoshi. And what people are worried about is that if he is actually able to prove that he is Satoshi, that he can get copyrights and patents on all this stuff on Bitcoin and essentially could destroy it. Do I think he is? No. And the reason why is because he's been told, okay, if you're Satoshi, move these coins from X to Y. He hasn't been able to do it. So it's a very interesting story. And my homework assignment for you guys is to do more diligence on the BSV thing and Craig Wright claiming to be Satoshi. But with that being said, we're going to continue to work to provide better content for you throughout the course of the show. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Please make sure to share this, smash the like. And before we get going, if you're in California, I am sending you prayers. I'm sending you love and light. And I hope you're not experiencing any power outages and that you're safe when you're driving, your kids are safe, and that you're just very, very careful. Okay. So I'm sending everybody in California a lot of abundance right now because it's a little bit crazy. And thank you guys so much. And shout out to my TikTokies, Tiki Takis. Thank you guys for the roses. Let me check to see if there's any questions down over here. Why would the creator of Bitcoin want to be known? Well, that's another argument about the whole entire thing. Okay. Bindi, stop creating FUD. Oh, stop. All right, y'all. Sending everybody love and light. WendyO is out with my dinosaur mask. I'll catch you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST. But please watch the video at 3:30 because we're going to talk about Ethereum. Bye-bye. Thank you guys so much. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.